It's New Brew Thursday! Woo! And we're going back to Stone, because we love Stone.
Yep.
And, you know, we haven't done Stone in a while.
No.
I mean, we've done a couple of shows at Stone, but I don't think we did even... Oh, we did Double Bastard. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking of Planet the Younger show.
Well, that's a show we did at Stone.
Yeah, we did it out at Stone. But we haven't had an in-studio, like, Stone Fest for a while, though.
Let me think back through the catalog. I don't think we have.
No, we have
Actually,
not.
So, yeah.
we did the first pre-New Brew Thursday with Old Guardian, if you remember correctly.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. The show that was never to be released.
We can't do this beer anymore. Never mind.
That or something.
I would be really surprised if you still had footage of that.
I might. I might.
Yes, Old Guardians.
All the good footage that's been lost.
Yeah,
still have some old footage.
Yeah, oh, it was probably on that hard drive. It got lost. Never mind.
So anyway, we're going to be doing Old Guardian and the Old Guardian with Belgian yeast. And if you don't know anything about it, this year Stone decided they were going to start a new program called Odd Beers for Odd Years.
Yep.
So every odd year they're gonna take one of their in-house specialty beers and funkify it a little bit.
Is it one or always Old Guardian?
No, because they're doing IRS as well.
One of each makes way more sense. Why did they even say that?
Right. They're going to be doing IRS and Old Guardian this year. I'm not sure what they're doing next year.
So it's not just one beer. They're going to do several.
Yeah, and they were actually going to not release Old Guardian or Imperial Russian Stout this year. And then everybody completely freaked out.
Yeah.
And so I think Greg put it as though the masses felt that being enslaved by an alien race would have been more preferable to them not releasing this beer.
I think he even went as far to make a special Stone video for how pissed off everybody was, where all the employees like beat the shit out of him.
It's understandable because, I mean, Old Guardian and IRS are two very cellarable beers. They're very, very good beers to throw in your cellar, not think about for a long time, open them up 5-10 years later. And so people have huge verticals of these beers, and they're very proud of their verticals of these beers.
Yeah.
And so to have one just disappear or become completely different all of a sudden would be weird. Yeah, so
because Old Guardian is a barley wine, in case you didn't know.
Yeah, it's a barley wine style ale.
So it's a very, very cellarable, high gravity kind of big beer. So
very malty, very hoppy. It's gonna be everything that you love about a barley wine. So let's go ahead and pop it.
Which first?
We're gonna do the Old Guardian first.
Orig.
Those are my car keys. Don't copy them over the internet. I see what you're trying to do there.
Take pictures of your keys.
Exactly.
And print them out with a 3D printer.
You don't know where I live. Probably do, since my address is
Watch the size of that glass, by the way. It's
that's the whole bomber just goes in it. Oh, I guess John gets a drink and none of us do.
These are my new glasses. They can hold an entire bottle of beer, like a 22 ounce.
I thought they were, are they brandy glasses?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Posing as beer glasses.
No, they're awesome.
But they're huge. You can I
mean, yeah, that's
swim in them.
That's what you want to do with beer.
John has actually tried to crawl naked into this glass. It broke though, so we do not recommend that at home.
Well, it's too small. Okay.
That's not what she said.
Oh, that smells really...
It smells awesome.
Good.
That does smell really good.
Like full, very full.
Oh, that's a house phone fail right there.
Okay, let's just let it rain.
And that's why we're on a podcast.
Yes, we always take the time to shut off our personal cell phones.
You know what? I never shut off the house phone.
Yeah, we get yelled at by John if we don't.
No one ever calls my house.
That's true.
And yet someone's calling his house right now.
I guarantee it's my mom.
Yeah.
My mom's fault.
My parents don't call.
I'll cut her a break because usually she'll text me on Thursday. And she's like, I know you're probably filming New Brew Thursday, so if you don't respond to me, I understand. But it's actually not Thursday. So.
We had a Master Pairings fail.
I'll cut her a break and cut her out of this video.
Nice.
But yeah, this smells really good. Really malty.
Yeah.
Tastes even better.
Plenty.
Definitely get a lot of the sweet maltiness on the nose, but you get just at the back end of the whiff, you get some nice hops that kind of balance it out a little bit.
You definitely get a lot of the malts in the actual taste, but it's not as, I guess. No, there's a little dry mouth. It's not as much as I would expect from a barley wine, I guess.
Yeah,
no, it's lacking the booziness that I get from a lot of barley wines that make me kind of not like them.
Well, I would say the wininess. Yeah.
All right. Well, the Venice character.
Yes. Yes.
It could probably warm up a little bit, and that might come out a little more because it's kind of cold right now. So.
Right. But I think that this one of the reasons I like the Old Guardian more than other barley wines is because you get a lot of the malt forwardness, and
it tastes more like a beer.
Yeah, the hops kill that little alcohol boozy Venice characteristic that you kind of. Because if you drink a lot of barley wines, you get that sickly sweet taste in your mouth, and you're like, oh, enough.
Yeah, I do get a lot of sweetness off of it, though.
Yeah.
But it's not sickly sweet. It's the sweetness lingers a lot. I mean, the bitterness kind of backs up the sweetness the more after you drink it, and it's really interesting. I mean, I don't know if you can say their Old Guardian is typical every year. It kind of changes.
I think it's consistent, but it does have some changes via the vintage and whatever. And I think it's interesting because I've been engaging in this conversation a lot over the last couple of weeks. Vintages they don't mean like what they do for the wine. Like if you have a wine vintage, you can have a great wine in 1996, but based on how the grapes grew or how the weather was or the mood the vintner was when he plucked the grapes, whatever, it changes the wine considerably. So you could have a great 1996 and 1997 could just be swill. You're not going to get that in beer, obviously. You're not going to have that lack of consistency in beer. But you will have changes based on how the hops matured, what hops, like how the hops were grown that year, even how the barley was roasted, the different types of barley that may be used.
Right.
So, I mean, there are subtle changes, but you're not going to see massive changes.
Like, it's almost there's a lot more involved after everything has already been, everything's grown. And it's up to the brewer at that point where I'm not a winemaker, but where with wine, you're pretty much just depending on the crop of grapes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, with wine you have 2 ingredients. You have grapes and yeast. And with beer, you have 4 ingredients. And so there's more complexity with beer, obviously.
At the minimum, you have 4.
At the minimum, exactly. At the minimum, you have 4 ingredients. And with that additional ingredients, you have also more of a chance of something going wrong or something changing or whatever. So I have just a little bit left, and they have finished theirs.
Done.
Welcome back,
Alkies. We didn't go anywhere, dude.
We kind of did.
Well,
that was a telemarketer who called. Like, shit has happened.
I just saved 15% of my car insurance, and they didn't even call my house. It was awesome.
That's how good that telemarketer was. He's like, is Steven Johnson there? I'm like, why, yes, he is.
We have found him. Oh, you have no idea how many people are looking for me over the phone.
That's scary, actually.
So we are now going to do the side-by-side tasting with the Belgo version of the Old Guardian.
Which was the same recipe, I believe, made with Belgian yeast.
Belgian yeast.
I'm not sure what yeast.
Belgian style yeast.
But it's yeast.
Yeast. You can quote me on that.
Yeast.
So I always pour myself first.
As you should.
Deny yourself nothing. Apparently John wasn't happy with the pouring that I did earlier, so whatevs.
Beautiful.
Whatevs.
Took it upon myself.
It is very nice, though. I will say that you have...
By the way...
We never cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. See how we were of one mind there? We're just like right there.
We've been spending too much time together.
Or not enough. Ooh, there's
the
something huge different on the nose. Yeah, it's like totally that whole Belgian triple feel on the nose.
That fruitiness.
Yeah, the fruitiness of it. The fruity esters of it.
I know what you're saying with the Belgian. I wish I could say it with a different adjective. But yeah, it smells Belgian.
Brad's like, I'm consulting my internal thesaurus and nothing is coming to mind, so I'm going to go ahead with Belgian.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, if you know me from the beginning of the show, I wasn't a big fan of Belgian anything.
Has that changed?
Yeah, totally.
All right. Because
Yeah.
I was going to say,
I remember the original, when we first started the show, I wasn't a big fan of IPAs, he wasn't a big fan of Belgians, and we've both become a fan of the other now.
Now we're all just a fan of good beer. But I do want to say we've done a few episodes in the studio, and we're going to be releasing another episode in the studio next week. But after that, you're not going to see us here in the studio for a while because we're going to be out. We're heading
out and about.
Yeah. No, these guys don't know yet. Just haven't told them. No, we're heading to Seattle, and when I say we, I mean John and I and Bill. Brad will not be accompanying us in Seattle. Sorry, dude. I apologize for that.
Oh, okay.
But we'll be doing a couple of shows in Seattle for the Hard Liver Festival. Then we're going to be going into San Francisco for the Craft Brewers Convention.
It's Craft Brewers Conference.
I like to say convention.
It's a conference.
Well, I know, but
that's where the craft brewers get together and they conference.
Okay, we're going to be in San Francisco for the CBC.
There you go.
Boom!
Didn't that happen like right after JABF?
No, that's that. Well...
And then no one.
I think you blacked out for the 2 months.
JABF.
I think you blacked out for the 2 months between the CBC last year and GABF.
It's February.
Why do you think that?
Well, because you obviously don't remember how far apart they were. So
Wait, Seagate, what?
it's CBC in March, April range. The NHC is in June, July.
After GABF, there was something that you were going to go to, but then decided not to at the last second. What was that?
Oh, that was the Beer Bloggers Convention.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Beer Bloggers Conference.
Convention.
It was a conference.
Whatevs.
Know your conventions.
Same
and
argument.
The
conferences.
BDC 2010, yes,
Right.
in Colorado. I actually
won.
even had plane tickets for that and everything. It was the night before that I canceled.
But we digress.
Yeah, we digress. Anyway, the point is that we're going to be out and about. We're going to be doing a lot of like brewery, bar, and specific type of shows.
Maybe,
Brothel,
maybe
or
beer
whatever.
foods.
No, probably not beer foods.
I missed the pairing.
Yes. So we just, we wanted, it's part of the reason why we're kind of doing some odd shows in the studio. Like, we don't normally do 2 beers. We do a single beer with pairings. But we didn't want to do pairings this episode because we didn't want to defocus off of the 2 beers that we were doing.
Right, this is about
Like I'm doing right
comparing
now.
the original to the new Belgo
Speaking
style.
of comparing, what do you guys think?
This is my favorite.
Yeah,
Dude,
me too.
not that I don't like the regular Old Guardian, but if they would have just come out with this, I'd have been like, well, I'm happy with this.
Seriously.
This is
now,
sweet.
since John and I are in agreement, as usual, let's have you for the
both of you.
agreement.
No, I'm not even going to disagree. I really, really, really like the Belgo version.
It's so much... I'm
I
sorry.
don't like it more than the Old Guardian version, the original version. And the only reason I say that is because I think
Okay.
that the Belgian yeast adds a bit more sweetness to it that just kind of brings it into a level of sweetness that I'm not fond of.
I see.
I don't dislike it, but I like this one better.
This one is definitely more bitter. You get way more of the hops, up front and at the end.
Right.
This one, that
What is
sweetness...
all I get off this is the Belgian yeast.
This isn't as
Well,
Belgian-y, tripler quad as I was expecting it to be.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I totally, right now I'm tasting like an ABT 12 style beer right now.
Compared to like Three Philosophers or
Getting a lot of
Almagang
fig,
or-
a lot of plum, a lot of those really dark red fruits in this. I'm not getting any of the hops right now. I'm getting a lot of the sweet maltiness of this beer.
I'll agree with you there.
I'll say
yeah.
that. The
I'll
hops
agree
are
with you there.
very,
Yeah.
very far in the back.
And that's part of why I'm going to say this right now, and I think I've said it a couple of times in the show. I'm not a huge fan of barley wines, simply because of the fact that they do get too sickly sweet and too boozy for me. And this one takes this into the realm of a little bit too sweet for me.
So it's as if this
I
was
definitely see
on
what
the
you're
shelf.
saying. I
Right.
could definitely.
Or in
This
your
is
cellar
definitely sweet.
Right, if you
Yeah.
cellared this out and let the sweetness kind of mellow out a bit, you're gonna lose whatever hops are there. But if the sweetness kind of backed off a little bit, I think it'd totally be, better. And not to say that because I do really really like this. I mean, I don't want to come off sounding like I don't like it.
Yeah,
but
that's making me think I shouldn't come off sounding like I don't like the original. I like the original Old Guardian, but in I mean, you know what I mean? This is my
Right.
favorite of these two.
which really surprises
beers.
me, given the fact that you don't like Belgian or didn't like Belgian.
Well, it's also got it's smoother. Not that I don't not like
right.
the harshness of Stone's, when it's a fresh barley
Did you
wine.
say
Just
not that I don't not like.
not that I
That's a triple negative for those of
Or
you watching
don't
at home.
not that I don't like. Yeah, okay. Not that I don't
not
like. Shut up. Not that I don't like the harsh, stuff you get off this because it's, it does really crazy stuff in your mouth. But it's similar to Double Bastard when it first comes out. It's just extreme and it's it's malty and it's hoppy and it's big.
That
and
is closer. I mean,
Yeah.
this is a stone beer. That's what you would expect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where this just seems it's really mellow. It's easier to drink. You might get in trouble drinking it because
Right,
you're just
right.
man, this is good. That's how I see it.
It goes down
Right.
quick and it's still a big
But I'm
beer.
looking
Yeah,
forward.
that's one thing I'll say about both of these is they're both pretty big on the alcohol side, but neither one of them drink like they are. I could totally
That's
see
true.
yourself getting in
Yeah.
trouble with these beers.
Yeah, the 12
be
and-
aware of what you're drinking when you're drinking these beers.
Yeah,
And this is not a serving size of one.
yeah. That's
I'm looking at you. Don't minimize me.
That's a bummer.
Bring me back up. There you go. Yeah. This is for sharing. There you
Yeah.
go. Thank you.
disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
welcome,
since we have not given the audience a pairing of our own, let's go ahead and give them a pairing from Bill, which, you know, because ours are like pro pairings and his are master pairings.
Right.
And we're not going to tell you what the beer is, but I did eat
semi-pro pairing. Yeah, we're not quite pro. We're just trying to get pro. Yeah. So.
The beer was paired with macaroni and cheese.
Macaroni and cheese. Exactly. Yeah. This was like the whole session that we filmed for that was his like, I want to just pair things with crazy things that the random bachelor has in their house. Yeah.
But something to be said about that filming session.
Exactly.
It was filmed on a budget, and I'm going to say this: the Master Pairing series that you've been seeing for the last 4 weeks or 3 weeks, and that you're going to see for the next 4 weeks, I should say, 4, 5, maybe 6. We did a bunch.
We did a ton, yeah.
I think we
paid
for the beer and the food. Wasn't it like $180?
Yeah, I mean, this is our way of saying like, look, you don't have to get crazy. Like, I want 2 full boiled lobsters for my pasture pairings. Bill and I had to talk about that.
Master pairings,
yes.
not pasture pairings.
Pasture pairings.
We're not pairing pastors.
Well, no.
That would be weird.
Thank you. I thought I was the only one that
I don't have any altar boys to pair with a pastor.
Okay, so anyway. Macaroni and cheese.
Macaroni and cheese. Go!
Hey everyone, welcome to another Master Pairings with me, Dr. Bill, and today I have John Holzer.
Howdy.
Today, John, we're doing something basic. You know, sometimes you come home, you want something easy. And even though this is a 3-cheese macaroni and cheese, sometimes I understand people go for the craft in the cabinet. So what's going to pair with that? You just don't want a beer that to wash it down as a beverage. I mean, macro drinkers, you know, they go, yeah, Coors works perfectly with hot dog.
Yeah.
Sure it does. So does water.
Yeah.
That's what they're looking at. They're not looking at any flavor components.
Right.
But a beer to go with a great macaroni and cheese, or even a craft macaroni and cheese,
Look at that.
would be a Marzen, a German Oktoberfest style beer.
So that's what an Oktoberfest is, a Marzen.
Yeah, it's a Marzen. Okay. Marzen is the generalized style, and then if it's brewed specifically for Oktoberfest, they put that nomenclature on there.
Okay.
Now, Oktoberfest happened when Prince Ludwig married his lovely wife, and they did it in Munich out in this giant field. Her name was Teresa, and the field was named after her. And it was the first time actually where royalty actually gave beer to the masses, to the peasants.
Like in the celebration?
In a celebration, yes. It was the first time ever, so it became a party. And so after that, it became a traditional party. And excepting for a couple plagues, a couple wars,
you know, just a couple
it's happened
plagues.
Every year. And it's turned into the largest beer party in the world, where it's actually 250,000 people strong there every day for a number of days.
Does it actually happen in October?
It does, but I know where you were going. Most Americans celebrate Oktoberfest during October 1st through October, the end of the month.
It only makes sense.
It actually is 2 weeks into September. It starts and it ends on the first weekend of October.
Okay.
So for example, if you come to Stone and expect to have one of the classic German Oktoberfest beers, I only put it on during that time. It goes off the first weekend of October, and I will not pour any Oktoberfest beers there. You know, there's classic Oktoberfest breweries that are only allowed to serve at Oktoberfest. There's Paulaner, Spot, and Lohenbrau, Hofbrau, Hockershore, and Augustiner Brau.
They're only allowed to serve during October?
Well, they're the only official Oktoberfest beers.
Oh, okay.
Now there is actually a Weizen beers served there in a special tent, but they all have these 6 breweries have their own specific tents, and they do it. So let's pour it. Now, when I used to come to the Oktoberfest or go to the Oktoberfest in the 80s, the beer used to be semi-stronger. It used to be a bigger 6% Marzen. Now they've changed the recipe slightly for the festival and turned them more into a Helles, an everyday beer. And I understand the reasoning behind that. I don't appreciate it, but I understand the reasoning. You know, you have all these people there drinking these liter mugs of beer.
Right, I was just about to say, that's where you would have a mug of beer.
Yeah, you'd have these large liters. And so they dumbed them down because people were being over-consuming.
Right.
But unfortunately, so it's not the same level as it used to be, but it's 5.5%. Lovely beer. So,
cheers.
Cheers. That classic malty, bready, doughy flavor. Just well-rounded German lager.
Refreshing.
Just nice. Just enjoyable. Let's jump into this macaroni and cheese and see. This is really thickened.
I do love mac and cheese.
I didn't even salt and pepper it. I mean, normally I would. I just wanted you to taste the cheese with.
Yeah, I think if you did salt and pepper it, that kind of wouldn't make sense with the beer almost.
Right. Well, this brings out such a wonderful sweetness in this beer when you have it with just the cheeses. It still go great when you season it, as you should season any food. But I wanted you to try it like this to see exactly how it would work like that. Now,
it sounds weird, but it
Stump
kind
Boy,
of
can I have salt, please?
brings out the I don't know, the pasta taste too.
Thank you, sir.
In the macaroni and cheese.
Yes, it definitely lets it shine, lets the sweetness of the cheese, and it plays really well. Now you can try it with the little salt on it. It doesn't really change it, except you get this little more bitterness, saltiness in the back. So you don't have that true interplay as all of that stuff marriages.
Still really good though. It's great to pair with mac and cheese.
Yeah, it's delicious. So yeah, this beer works great with the slightly caramelized or minimally caramelized grains, but it plays really well with a lot of different things. Chicken.
I was just going to say
meats.
some kind of meat. It's just
Yeah.
like just a cleansing beer. It seems it complements and cleanses.
Yeah, it complements, but it plays really well, like I said, with pork tenderloin, sour braten, things like that. Chicken fried steak, it's amazing with that.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
Anything like that. So yeah, it plays really well. So I'm glad you came out. I think it worked really well.
Well, thank you, Bill.
Cheers. Thanks for coming to another Master Pairings.
Boom. So, did you like mac and cheese, John?
I do.
Oh, you did? Really?
Did you like
I
mac?
dig mac and cheese.
You did like the mac and cheese?
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm pretty sure I did. I don't remember.
He did, because this is a little behind the scenes information for you. John ate all the mac and cheese before
did?
any of us could have any.
I
No,
don't think
I
so.
just made that up.
All right.
That'll be in my tell-all book.
My memory's so bad I believed in it.
It's like ridiculous.
Okay.
So,
Sorry about
no,
that.
it was really good mac and cheese though. It wasn't like your Kraft box mac and cheese. It was actually
Kraft mac and cheese.
no, it wasn't Kraft box mac
But it
and
was
cheese.
Kraft mac and cheese.
I don't think it
It was
was.
Kraft with a C.
Talking about?
Oh, okay, Kraft. I'm like, seriously, I'm like, totally don't get your joke right now. I'm like, dude, seriously, it was not Kraft macaroni and cheese.
No, it was Kraft.
No, it was well, I don't remember what cheese he put in there, though.
It was macaroni and cheese. If you watch the Master Pairings, you probably saw it.
Nice.
It was
Anyway.
I'm sorry, you guys lost me. I'm not a Kraft cheese connoisseur.
Well, I think we filmed that one before you showed up. So,
Maybe.
It's possible.
Though, did you?
I'm not
I don't
sure.
think you
I
did.
think we did the cereal one first.
Yeah,
That was it.
I missed
All
the
right.
cereal.
We digress again.
I did again. We're a little
Can we
bit.
cut all that out? That was retarded. I'm sorry.
No, it stays
All right,
in.
it's all in.
Stays in, yes, for you.
Enjoy our random tangents.
Yes.
All right.
Anyway, so breaking off the random tangents. Like I said, we're gonna be traveling for the next few weeks. We're gonna give you all kinds of cool shows from different areas of the Pacific West Coast. Up in Seattle, San Francisco. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
My first time in Seattle.
Yeah, that's gonna be
cool.
good times. Yeah.
Seattle's awesome.
Seattle is amazing.
Hope
and
you see a
Brower's
grunge
Bottle
person or
Works,
something. No?
Brower's Bottle Works and Cafe, epic venue. Epic.
I've
That's
heard a
all I'm gonna
lot
say.
about it.
Epic venue. So we're gonna be filming a show from there.
Number
We'll be
two.
doing a hard liver,
two.
and I think you'll be hearing this show well in time to get tickets and get yourself to the Hard Liver Festival. So do it. Come up there. Come say hi to us.
It's
pack a pint of barley wine. It's gonna be a bad festival for me because I'm gonna be drinking a lot of barley wines.
It's a barley wine festival, by the way.
Yeah,
You're
it's a
gonna
barley wine festival.
Quick, what are 1-2 sentences difference between the two beers?
Malty, hoppy, bitter,
Venice.
good.
Yeah.
Really good. This, not so hoppy. Even the malt mouthfeel kind of goes away a little. That fruit is just so forward in it. But for this being such a big beer, and the Belgo yeast just balances really, really nice with it.
I like them both. I prefer this one because I think the hops dry it out and give me more of a beer feel to it. This one here has an amazing flavor profile, but I do get more of a hard alcohol feel to it, where I feel like I'm drinking a lot of alcohol. And so I prefer this one overall, but
The
original, the OG. So yeah.
Brad?
I would say that this is an amazing barley wine.
Yeah.
If you like beer, you'll love this barley wine. And then if you like Belgiums, you might not like this because even though it's very Belgium in the nose, it's not so in the
It's
taste.
a stone.
It's not so in the
take.
taste. It doesn't taste
Well, if you like
as
really,
much like a
really
Belgium.
huge Belgian beers,
You won't like this.
No, if you the AB.
I love Belgian beers, and this for me, I wouldn't say this is a Belgium right after tasting it, but it does have aspects of a Belgium. So I guess that's what I'm saying. Like it's not quite a Belgium, but it's an interesting. It's interesting. It's an interesting
I think
experiment from someone.
if I was to homebrew like a barley wine, and it'd probably be like a kit barley wine, but I would try it with Belgian yeast right off the bat, just to see what happens.
See what happened,
because
definitely.
I think it would be really interesting.
Well, I think it's a really cool statement of how much yeast can affect a beer.
Oh yeah, totally.
Because it's just, people. I think a lot of people who are not familiar with the homebrewing principles and whatever, they kind of think yeast is yeast. You throw yeast in to ferment the beer, and whatever you do with the hops and the barley, that's what you're going to get off the beer. But it really isn't like that. I mean, depending on the type of yeast you use, if it's an Irish dry yeast or if it's an English yeast or if it's a Belgian yeast, you're going to get a whole different flavor profile off it. It can really change the whole flavor profile.
Even the carbonation.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's great that Stone is doing this because, they live in a world now where the craft brewers are doing all the kinds of crazy and interesting things. And Stone's always kind of been like, these are our beers. This is what we produced for the last 10, 15 years.
They've led the rally on the
exactly. They led the rally on the extreme beers, and now they're kind of getting into the odd flavored beers and the things that make you kind of go, really, a barley wine with Belgian yeast?
Things that make you go,
Exactly.
Overall, both win.
Yeah, definitely. So anyway, this has been a great show, and as always, stay safe
and
drink beer.
Cheers.
As long as I got a Beretta, I'm down for whatever. I roll with my shit off safety.